What's up, guys? Welcome back to Revelation 11:27, where we speak the truth and nothing but the truth. And where we've created such a beautiful and tight and authentic family, right? Because after all, that is what's most important, right? A family with love, with true, authentic love. Not a family like mine that tried to plan my murder, that literally drove me, ordered me an Uber to a place where they were gonna, sell my nudes, have people watch me on Facebook Marketplace. No, that is not a family. A family doesn't even have to be by blood, right? A family are people that you connect with at a soul level, right? And you feel that. They don't even have to say words, because remember, words are like air. You can just throw it out there, not even mean it. But I am so proud of the little family that we've created here, where you can be yourself, I can be myself, and we can all be ourselves, right? Especially all these people trying to make everyone feel uncomfortable about truly who they are. But really, who's really the uncomfortable one? Them. Because they have to put this persona on, which is not really their true authentic self, because the nature of every human is love and kindness. Anything else, like jealousy, hatred, manipulation, all of that is devilish. And it is our job as human beings to understand that. And when you understand that, it is when you awaken. That is why it's called a spiritual awakening. Because you're awakening to your true nature. You're awakening to God's truth. You're awakening, I remember, I think it happened like a few days ago. Some guy was like, you need to wake up. And I'm like, I'm spiritually awakened. I don't think he even knew how to respond back to me. Anyways, let's see what the energy is, right? This one wanted to flip out, so let's do it. Okay, fine, the world again, right? So there's a completion about something. It's a celebration. And because there is a celebration, you also feel, right? There's a night of fire here. You feel confident about pursuing something, about going towards someone, about going towards a place. As you should, right? Because now that a chapter has been closed, you can celebrate. And your celebration is going. Guys, we got the Two of Water. Look where you want to celebrate. With someone with the two of water. Remember, water has everything to do with the emotions. So this is a partnership, a commitment, right? Maybe a reconciliation with someone that you knew from the past. This is true, authentic love. A family, what we were just speaking about. And like we were just saying, a family does not have to be by blood. Your partner, your wife, your husband should be your family. And if you don't feel like that, then they are karmic. That's not the right for you. I think that's so important. If you don't feel the love in your relationship, if you don't feel happy, if you don't feel at peace, if you feel like you have to constantly be looking behind your back, that is not a relationship God wants you to be in. And we have to be so smart about that, right? Because a lot of religions say, oh, you can't divorce, you can't do this. Who says that? We humans, we made marriage by paper, really. Confirmation with a beautiful dragonfly. So that is completely false. If you're married to someone and you are unhappy, there is no love, real love, not manipulative love, God wants you to get a divorce. Let me just be straightforward with you. God does not want anyone to be unhappy. Regardless if you're married or not. Regardless of what religion you're at. I mean, you believe in. And let's be real, right? A lot of people follow a certain religion because they believe that is the correct religion, right? And remember, I respect everyone's religion. We're just here talking, being open-minded on my channel. Now think about this. Did God have a religion? Confirmation with the beautiful butterfly, yellow butterfly to be exact. Was God a Christian? Was God Catholic? Was God Jewish? No. God is none of that. God is something spiritual. And what a beautiful yellow butterfly. And we all are spiritual. Everyone has a spirit. So I think that says a lot, right? So, not only have you closed certain chapters in your life that were not making you feel love, and maybe you had a hard time closing those chapters based on passed down beliefs that were passed down to you by your family. But now that you've realized a lot, like Kylie Jenner said, this is the year of realizing things. So now that you've realized a lot of things, right? Maybe you've gone through an awakening recently. And that was meant to be, right? It was meant for you to open your eyes. It was meant to leave behind whatever people you had to leave behind. It was for a reason. It was so you can feel confident again. Because maybe that relationship or those family members did not make you feel like anything. They're probably diminishing you with their words. And maybe not even with words, because people could diminish you with their actions towards you. They can make you feel like you're nothing. But no, we have to be smarter and wiser than that, right? But now you feel that passion again. You feel confident and you feel like you want to go on an adventure, right? And look, you want to go on an adventure for the rest of your life with someone that you're equally attracted to, with someone that you're emotionally connected to. And that is something given by God. Do you see like the love between them? Like just by the hands, like, and that's what you're after, right? That's what was in your destiny. But you had to accomplish something before getting to this stage, before realizing this. And that accomplishment could have been a breakup, could have been a divorce, could have been a separation, could have been changing maybe a distorted way of thinking, which now allows you to be more sure of yourself, because that's what awakenings do. It makes you realize the truth, not only about the world around you, but about your inner world. And look, come on, it's taking you to this amazing partnership where you guys, both of you guys together, are meant to do things, to help others, to change the world with what you can, with your experiences, with what you've been through, how you've overcame these situations, opening businesses that will help not only you guys, but it'll help everyone else. And this is a true divine connection. And I think that's beautiful. Let's get some frequencies. By the way, guys, if you're ever wondering how to get rid of any witchcraft, any foggy mentality, anything of that, you don't have to do anything out of this world. There's a lot of frequencies on YouTube that you can listen to. And what do frequencies do? They vibrate. So when they vibrate, it goes in your ear, and then it travels on your body, and then it fixes things that cannot be fixed otherwise than through the frequency. And if you really are having doubts about frequencies, think about Wi-Fi, right? How are you getting internet on your phone? Through frequency waves, right? You just don't see them. And you can feel them. Obviously, you can't feel a Wi-Fi frequency, but you can feel the frequency of sound anywhere you put it. So this is amazing, right? You are being rewarded by the universe with a true partnership, a true relationship, someone who will always be there for you, someone who's not going to be backstabbing you, maybe like the people that you were used to. No, we're not doing that anymore, because we've learned from our mistakes. We don't repeat karmic cycles anymore, right? Right. What else do we got to know, Spirit? Ooh. Yeah. And with the Eight of Wands here, I think we got the Eight of Wands on the last reading, right? This is fast action. See how fast those wands are moving? And wands are fire, right? Full of passion. Air travel. Movement, right? It's like a swift change coming in fast. And look, you got the Ace of Pentacles. Your manifestations are here. You've manifested something amazing, something that you've been wanting. And maybe you did not allow for that manifestation to come through earlier because you were holding on to other people's beliefs, or maybe your own distorted beliefs, or you were afraid to be judged by those that you love that were not really showing you love back. Instead, it was conditional love. I will love you if you don't date this person. I will love you if you don't do this career. I will love you if you don't dress like that. I will love you if you don't. That is conditional. But letting go of all of that has brought in your manifestations, right? Maybe both of you guys are going to start a new business together with the Ace of Pentacles here. A new financial opportunity. Maybe both of you guys are business people. And both of you guys can use your skills and your talents and your gifts together to continue to grow and continue to help the world. Yeah, and we got the 10 of Pentacles here, guys. This is a prosperous life. That's what this partnership is bringing you. You see this couple there, and you see all the coins, right? Because they have it all. You see the dogs. It's such a happy environment, and that is what you've been wanting, what you've been trying to manifest. And maybe for the longest, you didn't think that was possible. And why? It's so hard to imagine anything when you're surrounded with such dark, negative energies and people constantly just draining your life force. And these people are like, they wake up like every day, and you can see their face, like making their breakfast, like walking their dogs, like just complaining and complaining. That blocks your manifestations completely. But now that you've let go of all those people, you've separated yourself from them, your manifestations are here. That is beautiful. Look, the Wheel of Fortune. This was always in your destiny. You were always supposed to have this life. But before you were allowed to even get a taste of this life, you had to do some inner work. You had to separate yourself from people, places, and things that were no longer serving your highest good. And because you've allowed that, now you are where you need to be for this amazing thing to happen in your life. And come on, that is why people also, come on, we have these witchy people doing tarot readings and doing witchcraft and stuff to try and block lovers from coming in together, to try and stop divine connections from coming together. Because look at all the amazing things that happen. These people don't want that. Why? Because they need your energy. If you leave, who's going to pay their bills? If you leave, who's going to motivate them? If you leave, whose energy are they going to drain? Not anyone else around them, because they're all low vibing, right? So I just want to emphasize why it is that people try and block connections. Why it is that people try and talk shit about one person so the other person sees them differently. Why it is that people try and fill your mind with just bullshit because they don't want you to come together with someone that God has made for you. Social media. Yeah, look. These people, right? The same people that were trying to block this blessing, same people that were talking shit, right? These people are the ones that have been creating fake profiles of me and of others to try and make it seem like something like that it's not, right? But look, there's consequences to everything. Now these people are the ones that are cursed, right? These people are tormented. These people have sleepless nights. These people are exhausted. These people are mentally unstable. These people have anxiety. These people have diseases. These people have depression. These people are sick for trying to block this union. Right? So when you see these people that were talking shit about me when I don't even know them, creating fake profiles of me, smearing my name when they don't even know me, don't ask them why. Just look at them. Now you should know why it is that they're going through what they're going through. You should never block anything for anyone else. Especially with even more force, you should never block a divine union of two chosen ones. Because the consequences are visible in this 3D life, in the physical. And come on, these people knew how powerful this partnership was. If they didn't, they wouldn't have included all of the police to try and play around with evidence and tamper with evidence and go on this endless investigation where they still haven't found shit because they're all full of shit. They wouldn't have bribed other people. They wouldn't have done any of that if this partnership wasn't divinely orchestrated. And I think that's so powerful. I think that is, that should teach everyone a lesson. Like, just focus on your life so you don't have to deal with any consequences. And when you focus on your life, you could still have your destiny, because everyone has a destiny. But people don't end up in their destiny because they get distracted, right? And it's okay if you get distracted and you don't hurt anyone and you don't harm anyone and you don't bully anyone. But when you want to get distracted and you want to think that you're bigger than God, that is when your destiny is just done. It dissipates into the air. With reason, right? But I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching.